of the Empire State Building.
Z100, New York.
Hey, yo, it's Z100, New York's #1 hit music station. I'm Josh Martinez with my guest, Tate McRae. What's going on, girl?
Hello.
So you're on the road right now.
Yes.
You had 2 shows, Pier 17.
Mm-hmm.
Is that one of the more unique venues you've performed at recently?
For sure. Rooftops are like my dream venue. I just had like the perfect view of New York. I was like, the wind was blowing through my hair. It was just beautiful.
And I got to admit, the last couple days have been like perfect, dog.
Yeah, flawless weather.
Weather-wise,
Well, because
perfect.
I've seen shows at Pier 17 where like it's like raining and they have to like stop the show mid show. So I'm like, thank God that didn't happen.
You know what? This is further proof. Mother Nature fucks with Tate McRae, dog.
Right. Thank you, Mother.
That's what we do out
Thank
here. So your new song, Greedy,
Yeah.
out here blowing up, crazy. What was the inspiration behind it, though? Because it's like you talking your shit, which I like that.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, number one, I think we walked into the studio. I was writing with the super talented Ryan Tedder, Amy Allen, and Jasper Harris. And we'd been writing for like a week, and I was like, okay, I got to write a dance song. I haven't written anything that I can like actually dance to. So I go in, we start messing around with this like Timbaland type beat, and I like brought up this one story about like a guy who would come up to me at a bar and was like, oh, you're so like mysterious. And like, I feel like I like don't know anything about you, and I like want to know something about
It's
you.
intentional, dog.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, I'm like, clearly we don't know each other. And so then we just started writing this like crazy story about a guy like hitting on you at a bar. And I feel like it's just like such a good song for, you know, feeling confident and feeling yourself.
Now, I like that you mentioned like that you were very self-conscious of being like, yo, I haven't done a dance song.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun with it. I actually have a question from a fan here.
Okay.
From Alana. She says, as a dancer, do you find yourself making music based on the choreography / interpretive dance that you could do to it? Since you are originally we knew you as a dancer first.
You know, I wish that I like thought about it, but I really don't. Like when I'm in the studio, it's all story for me. It's all like what the song sounds like, how it makes me feel as like a person first, and then dancer comes second.
Got it.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to feeling like a person first, I like to talk about mental health a lot because I think a lot of people don't realize that getting back to even is important, right?
Of course.
Sometimes you're feeling low, you got to come up. But then people don't realize that like you could be on such a high. Like last night, you had 2 sold out shows in this badass venue, New York City, screaming your lyrics.
Yeah.
But then at 2 a.m., you're just chilling by yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how do you get back to even?
Well, I think that's one of the biggest thing on tours. It's like the biggest high ever. You've so much adrenaline, so much going through your veins. Like it's like everyone's looking at you, and then like the biggest crash happens right after a show. Honestly, it's like it's like after I give the exact same feeling as like you're out with a whole bunch of friends and then like a vacation ends or something and then you're like by yourself. You know that like post-depression feeling? It's how I feel after every single show. And yeah, it's been trying to figure out how to do things that keep me grounded as much as possible. So like reading, meditating, breathing, talking to my family all the time. I think it's just staying normal throughout the day so you don't go through that crazy crash after a show.
So it sounds like you got like a little routine down. I'm just curious, what's your workout routine, dog? Because you're out here posting these pictures and I'm like, how are you on the road looking like that? I got all the time in the world and I'm built like Grimace. Like this ain't fair, dog.
I work out a lot actually. Usually when I'm back home in LA, my workout is pretty consistent. Like I'll wake up at 9 every morning and go to the gym with my trainer. Not every day. I'm acting like I go 7 days a week. I go like 3 days a week.
You're a human being.
But yeah, I like being really consistent because it keeps me like normal and happy. But on the road, yeah, I definitely just like try to hit up like Barry's or F45 or like go on the treadmill or try to go on walks with my crew.
So for me personally, I'm a huge fan of, I thought Feel Like Shit was dope. Very raw, very honest, very real. What was the songwriting process behind that song specifically?
Yeah, Feel Like Shit, I feel like was okay, what honestly happened was I had moved to LA and I had got put into like every single session possible with like every writer and every producer in LA. And I felt very overwhelmed because I'd written all my songs in my life by myself and in my room back in Canada. So I was like, everyone was trying to talk for me. And I was like, you guys aren't telling like the right story. Like I feel like I'm like not being able to talk. And so I remember I had just gone through like a really rough breakup And I walked into the studio one day. I was like sitting in the corner. I was like by myself, and I'm like, I'm literally not gonna listen to one of you. And I remember just like going into like this like zone, and we just like wrote the whole chorus, and it was with some of my favorite people who I like wrote You Broke Me First with, and J Cash, and just like really cool people. So it ended up like flowing out, but it felt like one of the first songs that like I had a breakthrough with on my album last year.
So it sounds like collaboration is important to you to get like your maximum creativity out. Do you have a dream collaboration?
Yeah, I've always dreamed of working with Post Malone.
Really?
I think he's just like the sickest
Okay.
songwriter. I also just I'm obsessed with his shows and his voice. I've always died to do a collab with him. But yeah, I think I want to write with Noah Kahan right now.
He's killing it.
Yeah, there's so many people.
So you mentioned, Post Malone, he does like this whole dad dance type thing.
Yeah.
In about a week and a half, I'm going to be a dad for the first time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you. I'm having a baby girl.
Oh,
It's my first.
amazing.
What activity should I look to put her in first? Because I feel like you've done a lot of shit and you've been good at all of it. So I'm going to defer to you, girl.
I don't know. I guess it depends on what kind of girl she is. Like, just let her do what she wants to do at first. I think it's like if she wants to be a ballerina, if she wants to play soccer, like just literally let her do her thing. Let her dictate what she wants to do.
What was your favorite thing to do growing up?
I hated dance. I hated being.
Really?
Oh my god. I was the worst student alive. All I wanted to do was just eat, like, sandwiches.
Same.
I remember, like, my friends would be doing, like, ballet class, and I'd be, like, in the corner having snack hour for the 50th time. But, yeah, I think I didn't like doing anything until I was, like, 9 years old. I didn't like any classes or anything.
I got a couple of questions from fans here. Gabby, out in the UK.
Okay.
She wants to know, basically, looking back, is there a song that you wrote where you were like, by the end of it, oh, shit, okay, me?
In the moment, I can never tell.
Okay.
Like, I remember walking out of You Broke Me First, and it's so funny because I remember like getting in the car with my mom, and I played her like the voice memo.
Okay.
I'm like, this is what we wrote today, and she was like, meh, you need to stop writing about relationships. I was like, okay.
How old were you here?
I was 16.
Which is like all life is at that point, right?
Yeah, I'm like, I also hadn't been through a real relationship, so she's like, what are you writing about? Like, my like little crushes I had. But yeah, I feel like you never really know until you get a song fully back. That's when the moment happens. You're like sitting in your car by yourself. It's like nighttime. You put on your car, and if you get like the feeling, it's a very satisfying feeling.
When was the most recent time you had the feeling?
It was like one of the 15th version of Greedy.
Okay.
I asked for so many notes in production. I was like, okay, we need to like gritty this up. We need to like whatever. Like we need to make this so much darker. Like I needed to actually like feel this. And I remember like in the first like 8 seconds of the song was like this massive 808 that comes in. And I heard it in my car. I have like huge, super loud speakers, and I heard it for the first time, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I got like the feeling of just like hearing like the bass, and it felt so like grimy and cool.
I love that for you. Joanna wants to know, you working on a new album yet?
Yes.
What's the inspiration behind this new album? That you can share.
Lots of things. I turned 20 in July this year.
Happy belated.
Thank you. Yeah, I just feel like a lot has changed as a person this year. I went through some pretty intense relationships, and I feel like I experienced like true love for the first time. And I think, that feeling I've never been able to like really capture, because I feel like I've never really gone through it, and I was able to talk about it a little more, and the passion that comes with that, and the repercussions of falling in love.
Just as a side note, I will forever be a fan of yours.
Thank you.
One of my bucket list dreams was to be on stage at Madison Square Garden. You performed at Jingle Ball 2021, I believe. Yeah. And I had to hit right after you.
Okay.
I have never been so zoned in and focused on someone's performance in my life before yours, because it was like my dreams are about to come true, but I don't want to like think about that. Yeah. And I just like really took in your performance.
Oh my god.
And I was like, yo, this chick is like ill with it. Like, she's really dope.
Thank you.
So you will forever have love from me, and you will.
Oh my god.
I will always think of Tate McRae and Madison Square Garden in my first time. It's really like just
sick.
Surreal.
That's a great image.
Yeah. So you will forever have a plus and a check next to your name
Aw.
in my book.
Thank you so much. That
It's
means
all
a
love.
lot.
And listen, you always show love to iHeartRadio. We show love to you.
Thank
So
you.
one more time, I appreciate you, Tate McRae, coming by. Thank you, girl.
Of course. Thank you.
From the